Today I stand before you to tell you something the world cannot understand. When you are marked by God, you are not called to fit in. You are destined to stand out. There are signs, undeniable signs, that heaven has stamped its seal upon your life. And if you feel it deep inside today, you will know you are chosen. You are appointed. You are marked for greatness. Absolutely! Here's an expanded version of the first keynote. Divine discomfort, without headings, hooks added naturally to engage viewers, and flowing motivationally, up to about 500 words. Have you ever felt it? That aching deep inside your chest that refuses to let you settle? You look around and everyone seems content with where they are living life, doing the ordinary, but you can't. There's a restlessness in your spirit that no success, no relationship, no achievement can satisfy. Friend, listen carefully. That is not frustration, that is divine discomfort. That is the unmistakable sign that you have been marked by God for something greater. Some people will tell you to just be happy where you are, to stop wanting more. But when God has set his seal on your life, comfort will never be enough. You were not created to blend into the crowd. You were formed to rise, to lead, to shake the very foundations of this world with the power God put inside you. You feel the stirring knot, but you're broken, but because you're chosen. Right now, some of you are wrestling in the midnight hours, asking God, why can't I just be like everyone else? Let me tell you why. Because there is a dream breathing inside of you that was planted by heaven itself. That stirring is the whisper of destiny. That restless feeling is God saying, get ready, because I'm not finished writing your story. You might even feel guilty sometimes for wanting more impact, more purpose, more of Him. But don't let small-minded voices talk you out of a God-sized calling. Divine discomfort is the fire that prepares you for the platform He has ordained. If you feel that fire burn in your bones, don't run from it. Lean into it. Because what feels uncomfortable now is actually the birthplace of your anointing. Maybe you've been wondering if you missed your moment. Maybe you think it's too late. But hear me, it's not too late. It's just the beginning. That uneasiness you feel, it's the sign that your next season is closer than you realize. Discomfort is the midwife to destiny. Heaven stirs you before it launches you. This world is full of people content to stay where they are, but not you. You were made for the deep waters. You were built for the climb. That ache you feel is the evidence that you are alive with purpose. You are marked. You are set apart. You are appointed. And the very thing that keeps you up at night, the vision, the hunger, the sense that there's more, is God Himself calling you higher. If you feel this word shaking you right now, don't ignore it. Embrace it. Let it move you. Because the discomfort you feel today is the doorway to the destiny you were born to walk through tomorrow. Of course. Here's the expanded version of the second keynote. Unexplainable favor. No headings, strong motivational tone. Natural hooks to pull in viewers, about 500 words. Have you ever wondered why some doors swing wide open for you while others labor endlessly without result? Have you ever looked back and realized that you were given opportunities you never earned? Favor you never deserved? Breakthroughs that made no sense by human standards? Let me tell you, that's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's the undeniable hand of God on your life. When you are marked by God, there is a supernatural current that moves you forward, even when you feel like you don't deserve it. It's as if heaven itself is working behind the scenes, orchestrating moments, aligning connections, setting up divine appointments. You don't have to chase what is already chasing you. His favor goes before you and makes a way where there was no way. Some of you right now are walking through doors you didn't even knock on. You're standing in rooms some shouldn't have gotten you into. You're receiving blessings that make other people scratch their heads. They may call it unfair, but I call it favor. You have been marked by God, and when His mark is on you, no one can close a door He has decided to open. Listen to me. Favor isn't always flashy. Sometimes favor is protection. Sometimes favor is God blocking a relationship that would have wrecked your destiny. Sometimes favor is a job offer falling through because He had something better around the corner. Don't you dare despise the closed doors, because often the favor of God shows up in a no just as much as in a yes. Right now, you might not even recognize the magnitude of favor resting on your life. You might think you're just getting by, just barely making it. But if you could only see the battles God fought on your behalf behind the scenes, if you could see the storms He calmed before they ever reached your shores, you would fall on your knees and thank Him for the favor you didn't even know you had. The world measures success by effort alone, but heaven measures success by obedience. When you walk in obedience, favor follows you like a shadow. You don't have to force your future. You don't have to manipulate your way into promotion. When you are marked by God, you live under an open heaven, and what is meant for you will not miss you. I want to speak to someone today who feels overlooked, undervalued, underestimated. Hear this loud and clear. One moment of God's favor can do what a lifetime of striving never could. You don't need everybody to like you. You don't need everybody to believe in you. You just need the right yes from the right place at the right time. And when you are marked by God, that yes is already on its way. You don't have to chase favor. You are the favor. Walk like it. Live like it. Declare it every morning. I am marked. I am favored. I am chosen. Because when heaven marks you, the earth has no choice but to make room for you. Chat said, of course. Here's the expanded version of the third keynote, Battle Before Breakthrough, packed with hooks to pull viewers in naturally, powerful and motivational, around 500 words. No heading. Have you ever asked yourself, why is my life so hard when all I want to do is live right? Have you ever felt like the moment you tried to step into your calling, all hell broke loose against you? Let me tell you today, that's not because you're doing something wrong. That's because you're carrying something right. When you are marked by God, the battles you face aren't random. They are targeted attacks against the future you're carrying inside you. Maybe right now you feel like you are fighting battle after battle, storm after storm, and you're wondering if it's even worth it. Let me lean in close and tell you something the enemy doesn't want you to hear. The size of your battle is a clue to the size of your breakthrough. If the warfare around you is intense, it's because the calling over you is massive. The enemy doesn't fight empty threats. He fights dangerous promises. And you, my friend, are dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. You need to know this. The fight you're in isn't just about where you are. It's about where you're going. It's about who you are becoming. You just fighting. No, you are fighting for generations to come. You are fighting for the impact that your life will leave long after you're gone. You are fighting because your breakthrough will be the starting line for others around you. Right now, you might feel surrounded. You might feel crushed under the weight of it all. But don't you dare believe the lie that you're losing. Don't you dare accept defeat when heaven has already declared your victory. The greater the battle, the closer you are to breakthrough. Some of you are so close, the enemy can smell the shift in the air. That's why the attack feels fiercer than ever. Somebody needs to hear this. If you weren't about to step into something significant, you wouldn't be experiencing this level of resistance. Hell doesn't waste ammunition. The attacks on your mind, the attacks on your family, the attacks on your future, they are because you are marked, you are anointed, you are chosen. You are a threat every time you wake up in the morning and dare to believe God's promises over your life. And here's the good news, battles don't last forever. Breakthrough is coming. The night may feel long, but morning is on the way. You were not built to break. You were built to overcome. The same God who anointed you has armed you for victory. You don't fight for victory, you fight from victory. So if you're in the middle of the battle right now, don't give up. Dig your heels in. Square your shoulders. Lift your head high. The fight is fierce because the future is glorious. You are on the brink of something so much bigger than you can even imagine. Stay in the fight. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Absolutely! Here's the expanded version of the fourth keynote. Radical compassion, crafted to stir hearts, filled with emotional hooks, and around 500 words with no headings. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the pain no one else could see? Have you ever looked at someone smiling and sensed they were breaking inside? That's not ordinary. That's not just empathy. That is radical compassion, and it is a sign that you have been marked by God. You don't feel things deeply because you're weak. You feel them because you carry heaven's heartbeat. In a world growing colder, your warmth is proof that God still moves through his people. Others can scroll past suffering without flinching, but not you. You stop. You notice. Your heart aches. You pray even when no one knows. That weight you feel when someone's hurting? That's not a burden, that's a calling. You don't just feel sorry for people, you feel with them. That's why certain things disturb you when they don't seem to bother anyone else. That's why you cry over strangers, over stories, over silent battles no one else seems to care about. That's why you've asked God, why do I carry so much pain that isn't even mine? Let me tell you why, because you're carrying his love, and that love doesn't look away. God marks his chosen ones with a heart that breaks for what breaks his. And if you've ever wondered why you care so deeply, why you can't ignore injustice, why your soul trembles when others are mistreated, it's because your calling is connected to compassion. The ones who feel the most are often the ones sent to heal the most. You're not soft. You're not too sensitive. You are spiritually awake in a sleeping world. That pain that won't let you go is the same pain that will lead you into your purpose. You're the one who shows up when others walk away. You're the one who reaches out when others give up. You're the one who carries people in prayer when they don't even know they're being lifted. You may never get applause for it. You may never be recognized, but heaven sees you. Heaven hears the silent intercessions. Heaven watches you pour out love in places where you receive nothing in return. And heaven says, that one that's mine. The greatest leaders, the greatest warriors, the greatest world changers, they all began with compassion. Don't ignore it. Don't shut it down. The world may call you too emotional, but God calls you available. And when your heart stays soft, even in a world that tries to harden it, you become the kind of vessel God can use in extraordinary ways. So if you feel too much, if you love too hard, if you care too deeply, rejoice. That's not a weakness. That's the mark. You are a carrier of God's compassion, and that compassion is the doorway to your purpose. Absolutely! Here is the expanded version of the fifth keynote. You hear the call for greater sacrifice, written with compelling emotional hooks, flowing powerfully around 500 words, no heading. Have you ever looked around and thought, why is everyone else so comfortable, but I can't seem to settle? Have you ever tried to enjoy what others chase after, the applause, the money, the spotlight, and yet it leaves you empty? That's not a lack of ambition. That's a divine disruption. When you're marked by God, He will not let you find satisfaction in shallow things, because He's called you to something deeper. People won't understand why you say no to things they run toward. They won't get why you walk away from certain circles, certain deals, certain opportunities that look good on the outside. But what they don't see is the tug on your heart, the whisper from heaven that says, this may be good, but it's not God. And when you've been marked by Him, that whisper becomes louder than the world shouting. There is a price to your purpose. When you are truly called, truly chosen, you will be asked to lay down what others are allowed to carry. Not because you're being punished, but because you're being purified. The road to greatness is paved with sacrifice, and if you feel like God has asked you to let go of comfort, it's because He's preparing to hand you impact. It's not that you can't live an average life, it's that you refuse to. Something in you keeps calling you higher. And yes, it's lonely sometimes. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it costs you. But deep down, you know the truth. You were never meant to blend in. You were always meant to lead. And leaders don't take the easy road, they take the road that costs something. Maybe you've had to walk away from friendships that once felt like family. Maybe you've given up time, dreams, or stability to follow the narrow path. You've sacrificed sleep to pray, moments to serve, comfort to obey. Others didn't see it, but heaven did. Every silent yes, every unseen sacrifice, every tear you didn't let fall in front of people. And God is saying, I saw it all. I counted it all. And I will reward it all. Here's what you need to remember. Sacrifice is not the end of your story. It's the preparation for your next chapter. The greater the calling, the deeper the cutting. But God never asks you to lay something down unless He's about to put something greater in your hands. If you feel like you've been giving up everything just to follow God, don't grow weary. You're not losing. You're investing. You're planting seeds others can't see yet. And in due season, you will reap what you've sown. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. So, don't apologize for the sacrifices you've made. Don't shrink back. You're not crazy, you're consecrated. You're not overlooked, you're being prepared. And the price you're paying now will never compare to the purpose God is about to release through your life. So, if you've been wondering why your life feels different, why the road has been harder, why the weight feels heavier, it's because you're not ordinary. You've been set apart, chosen, marked by the hand of God for something greater than you can even imagine. And every battle you've faced, every tear you've cried, every time you said yes, when it hurt, it was never in vain. It was training, preparation, proof. These signs aren't coincidences, they're confirmation. You're not crazy for caring so deeply.